All right. Hi, guys. I'm Katie Room.
I'm David Room.
And today we've got a media haul for you. We both got gifts over Christmas and we went to the bookstore. So we have a lot of things, really cool stuff that we'd like to share with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Should we start with the Christmas stuff?
Sure.
Okay. And then were we going to also talk about some other stuff too?
Probably.
Yeah.
What we're going to do with our lives in the coming year.
Yeah, what we'd like to do before it all goes to heck. I think this is your Christmas pile.
Yes. Some good stuff.
Get my Christmas pile. I'm going to try not to flatten my MacBook here. Okay. Yeah, and we've got the bookstore piles here. We'll see what we show of that.
Hi to Patrick.
Here, I'm going to actually close that door.
Sure. Do you... Oh, yeah. Yep.
You gonna get started?
Sure.
So yeah, we've got books here, and we've got some other fun stuff too.
It's mostly books.
Books.
Well, if we get into some of the stuff that we bought,
some movies, and I think one video game here.
Yes. I'll start with the video game. This is something that David grabbed for me for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Persona 5.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish it because I started it on the PS4 and then we got a PS5 and I didn't have an account set up. So we got to hook the PS4 back up so I can finish that. But yeah.
Yep.
So I'm excited to try this one.
This is a game in the series that Persona is a spin-off of. So
I know next to nothing about it, which is probably the best way to go into it. I'm excited.
Should I go?
Sure.
All right. So I got a couple of movies. Maybe I'll just show both of them. So this was a gift from my parents, and this was a gift from my sister and brother-in-law. So I've been collecting movies. You're going to see a lot of movies. With me in collections, I kind of have a number of small collections that I kind of cycle between when the bug hits. So right now I'm kind of thinking about movies. And these are two classics that I like a lot that I noticed the 4Ks were pretty inexpensive for, so I put on my Christmas list. Harvey's great James Stewart movie. E.T., of course, is kind of like the prototype of all of the, 80s nostalgia bait. That's kind of all the rage now. So, and it's been like 20 years since I've seen either of these movies, but I liked them a lot when I saw them, so I'm anxious to watch them again in 4K on a nice TV. Especially, well, I think I'm looking forward to watching Harvey with my sister and brother-in-law because we do movie nights and they like classic movies a lot. And I'm really looking forward to watching E.T. just because of all the buzz about Stranger Things. And I remember really liking this movie when I saw it, and I'm anxious to, watch it again as an adult who, maybe pays a little bit closer attention to what's going on in movies. So
nice.
Yeah,
I haven't seen either of them either.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So I didn't know that you've never seen.
I've never seen E.T.
I think you didn't. I think I've talked about watching E.T. with you, and you were kind of like, I don't really want to.
When I was a kid, I saw there was an advertisement for it prior to one of the movies that we owned. So I saw that commercial a lot, and he freaked me out. So I was.
Well, you like a lot of other Steven Spielberg movies, though. And this movie's got a John Williams soundtrack, so I think it's going to be fun to revisit. And Harvey is a classic. Who doesn't like Jimmy Stewart? So.
Hi to Michael Caine. Thanks for coming. I asked for this for Christmas, and I put one, I think it was from eBay, on my list to specifically show the cover that I wanted to have. I haven't read this. I've been intending to read it for ages.
You've got a couple other books in that
I
series,
do.
though, right?
I do. Also because they had pretty covers. Kind of a classic. Wanted it to be on my shelf, and I'm going to read it. I became more interested in buying it after reading the indie book. Oh, it's going to go straight out of my head. Why do I do this to myself? I should have prepped. Just a quick look at my website, because that's where my brain is. The Haunt of the Island on the Island of Esmer by Justin A.W. Blair. Because a lot of the reviews, or multiple of the reviews that he already had for the book, mention this one. And I really enjoyed that one. So I thought, well, I'll pick this one up and finally get around to reading it.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, babe.
It's a good reference book for paperback typesetting too, because it's like that nice small paperback size, and this book is like just over 300 pages long in that small paperback size. So I think this is about the length of my book. What my book will be sized at when I get around to the.
I like this size
paper.
a lot.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's not the most cost effective, but it feels good in your hands. I like that. Everything these days is the very biggest size, which I'm not really a fan of. Would you like to go again?
Yeah, so this was a gift from Katie. This is the Penguin Classics Marvel Collection X-Men. So I got the Spider-Man one, I think a couple of years, either last year or a couple of years ago, I think from my parents.
I think so.
And I haven't read it all the way through, but it's a really great book. And these are really awesome, and especially the fact that their MSRP is $50, but they go for a lot cheaper than that at this point. I know I don't think you spent $50 on this. And they're just an awesome thing to have on your shelf. They're just really gorgeous on the inside. Really nice. And one cool thing about these, if you like comics, is that they're printed on matte paper. So the colors are still like a little bit extreme, maybe, but in my opinion, the matte paper looks a lot nicer than sometimes what you get in omnibuses and stuff. Like, let me see an example here. So like this, open this up again. This Conan Epic Collection is a lot shinier. So I don't know. This just is like a really nice thing. And then it's kind of like the best of, right? So they choose. It's not just like the first 10 issues. They choose relevant ones. So it's like, if you just want to have a nice archive of something, it's great thing to put on your shelf.
Couple of comments about E.T. Michael Caine said, we had an E.T. recorded off network television. Those are the realest childhood memories. He says there was a thunderstorm during the snow speeder scene of Empire Strikes Back. Patrick says that my Ghostbusters VHS from TV tape was so worn down you could watch the shows. It was taped over. Okay. Yes. What's up?
Are you unmuted? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm looking at myself here. That's muted. Okay, cool. Yeah, just making sure.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple of very similar topics. This is the first one. This is a folk tales book, Folk Tales of Japan. Kyoto Ko. I've been watching his stuff on Instagram.
He does sort of funny shorts, right? Is he?
Yeah.
He's the samurai guy that.
Yep. Yeah.
This was from Katie's list, and I was a little bit confused about why she wanted it, but it's kind of like supporting a creator that she likes.
Yep. It's indie.
You can tell it's
Matt.
yeah, it's the Matt that everybody hates, and it's a print on demand thing, but it's a nice little volume.
Yep. And I have yet to read any of it, so I don't know what he's like as a author. But
I looked at it a little bit. It's very idiosyncratic, kind of odd the way it's written, but I think that kind of reflects him.
Probably reflects him.
His videos are a little odd, so.
But I enjoy his videos, so, and he can tell a story in video format, short video format, well. And so I feel like if you can tell a story well in a short format, that is a sign of being able to tell a good story. We'll see, I guess.
The cool thing about these two is they're really short. So they're each chapter, and his cultural commentary is like just a couple pages. And it's very brief, and like this is honestly would be like a nice bathroom book.
Yeah.
You could just read. The older I get, the more I appreciate things that are sort of short and to the point. That seems like a good thing about that.
And he has 3 or 4 out now. Horror tales, romance tales. I don't remember all of them, but I thought I would start with folk tales since that's kind of my jam. Thank you.
I thought you should start with folk tales because you
bought it from me.
Yeah.
Off of my list. Yes.
I didn't want to buy the whole set if they turned out to be but whatever.
Thank you.
All right. So this one is kind of different wheelhouse kind of thing. This is a gift from my parents that I had on my list, and this is one of the best math books that I've found. I haven't read the whole thing. I started reading a PDF of it this summer when we were on vacation. He makes the PDF available for free, and this book represents something that I think is missing in a lot of math books, which is like just showing examples kind of in a more common domain so you can reason about abstract topics. And the visual term here is key. This book is just filled with the most wonderful illustrations I've ever seen. Shows the applications of these topics into so many different areas, and even illustrates a lot of topics with like actual household items, like this illustration of Gaussian curvature using a blow up like pool toy. There's parts, so like he talks about the geodesic by showing he doesn't just say it, he actually did it, where he took pictures showing shortest line between 2 points on a gourd. And the cool thing about this is that it's one of my dreams to try to teach my kids very advanced math as early as possible, or at least introduce them to these topics. And this kind of stuff, I think it would be fun to actually do. I mean, what other, what's a better excuse for doing something like this than doing it with your kids? So a lot of application, a lot of illustration. The book is also written in a way that you can kind of read individual chapters separately. And another nice thing that I found about this book, which I didn't notice in the PDF because you can't just flip through it, is that it seems to have a really nice, where is it here? Yeah, he's got a, where is it? He had a little appendix, I thought. Oh yeah.
Further reading, bibliography.
Where was the appendix? Maybe I'm just imagining.
Look at the table of contents.
Yeah. Well, I found it before just by flipping through it, so maybe. Oh, yeah, it's not an appendix. It's just the chapter on tensors. So tensors are kind of a notoriously difficult topic. And I was lucky enough that when I a number of years ago at my job that I worked at, we had an intern who was a applied math PhD, and he explained tensors to me. And this book seemed to have a really nice discussion of tensors. So this is, I don't know, it's just great material. I'm looking forward to learning and eventually teaching my kids from. So
Nice.
Very excited about this book.
Patrick said Elucid's Elements of Geometry.
Euclid.
Okay, whatever.
Euclid's Elements of Geometry is some great books that take Euclid's proofs and just shows them the visual forms and leads to so much, of course, moments. Yeah. Well, the tricky thing about math is that you have to strike this balance between like showing a concrete example of something and conveying the fact that that's just an example. Like the topic, like differential geometry informs the most sort of everyday situation that kind of thing arises on is like surfaces of like two-dimensional surfaces of three-dimensional objects. But the point, like you don't want to get so hung up on thinking of it that way that you miss how it generalizes to higher dimensional things. But in my opinion, most math textbooks just fall way too far on the side of like not showing those concrete examples. Like I can make the leap from an example to an abstract thing once I see the example.
Yeah.
So sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you about Euclid.
No, it's okay. I pronounced so much stuff wrong. Michael Caine says, my 10th grade math teacher couldn't adequately explain why I needed to be able to find imaginary roots, and it basically kicked me out of caring about math. Took the rest of the advanced math classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think about the disservice she did me more often these days.
Yeah. Well, and imaginary numbers are one of those things. Like I consider myself to be pretty good at math, and I never really understood imaginary numbers until I learned about something called quaternions.
I heard a baby.
So yeah, it's one of those things where I think concrete examples definitely go a long way. And teachers often, especially like let's go on a little homeschooling rant here. I think teachers, especially like public school teachers, they sometimes don't really know enough to know what the actual practical applications of things are. So again, they teach you how to compute, but you never see the application and you never see a concrete example of it being useful. So you never are able to get that first to be able to generalize it. Yeah. And Michael Caine says, let's see, I don't know if I can, he says, is that the rotational thing? Yeah, it is. And imaginary roots are rotational too. So complex numbers represent rotations in a plane, and quaternions represent rotations in 3 dimensions. So yeah, there's very beautiful, very geometric, very intuitive explanations for how all these things work, and they're just completely lost on most people. Michael Caine says, to be fair, he says, I had generally very good teachers. My public school experience was unicorn. Yeah. So yeah, definitely in those cases they can be good, but still I feel like there's a difference between like with math, with sort of the class being taught well and learning the sort of dopey material well and actually
Mary says his tummy hurts.
oh,
And so I've got him in the bathroom, but
okay.
he says he feels like he's gonna throw up.
Oh no. Our son is sick.
He feels like he's sick.
We could set him up on the couch or on a blanket or something on the floor
In here? Or out there?
in the living room.
In the living room?
Yeah, and then we could sort of finish up.
Sure.
And then Anne, hey Anne, how's it going? She says, to be fair, my mother couldn't have told me why imaginary numbers would be useful either, and she's not a slouch, just not a math person. Yeah, I think that's another problem. It is good to actually have some practical experience with the stuff, I think, for teaching. Especially when there's such obvious explanations of what these things are and what they're good for. And in the case of imaginary numbers, they're just numbers that represent rotations. That's all there is to it. There's a number of different ways, a number of different kinds of functions and objects and stuff that arise in mathematics that represent rotations, but imaginary numbers are like the most obvious, and it's too bad that that aspect of it isn't illustrated more, because that's where they show up and that's where they're used. Let's see. Maybe I will show, while Katie gets our son set up, I'll show my last thing here. So this is the Conan the Barbarian Titan Comics Omnibus. So this is a reprint of Marvel Conan the Barbarian comics. And I have the Marvel Epic Collection, which goes which does 1 through 13, and this book does 1 through 24 or 26, plus a couple of other stories. And so it's printed, it's published by Titan Comics, but it's the Marvel Conan stuff. And the reason that this is really cool and something that I wanted is these particular issues of Conan are like the most expensive. So I have a fairly big collection of actual issues of Conan, but all of mine are after this. So I have probably at least half, if not more than half, of the issues between 30 and 100. And I like the style of those. These earlier ones, the main illustrator was Barry Windsor Smith, who's a very good artist. I don't like his style quite as much. But the really neat thing, so this is a nice thing to have just in terms of, accessibility, because those earlier issues are more expensive. The other thing that's really interesting about Conan, and I don't know a ton about this, but it's going to be interesting to read this book and find out more about it, is that some of these stories have kind of an interesting editorial history where they appeared in different forms. Like they appeared in Savage Tales, and then they appeared in the Conan comic. And there's a ton of editorial stuff. I can't show all of it because there's some nudity. There's a ton of stuff that shows behind the scenes. And actually, each of the comics has some neat stuff. Like most of them have the letters page, which is cool. But all this editorial stuff in the back is really interesting. And there's one section that is really cool, which is it shows the goes through the Frost Giant's daughter story, and it shows their interaction with the Comics Code Authority, because they they pretty clearly violated the Comics Code Authority guidelines on sex and nudity multiple places throughout the comic, and it shows the letter that they got from the Comics Code Authority, the before and after, and how they changed each individual piece of it to deal with that. So that is really interesting. I mean, just having the stuff like that, I critical, like showing how these things evolved, is really interesting. So I was really excited to get this. I've been wanting this for a long time, and it's going to be fun to read through this and read through some of that material.
He said he no longer feels like throwing up. I said, okay, what do you want to do? He said, I want to kiss you and hug you and go back to bed, but I want to take the bucket.
Yeah, poor little duder.
All right. So I just left the door unlocked so that he could go to the bathroom if he feels like he needs to.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you've got
all of my stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Some Tolkien books. I posted a whole slew of these, so I'm excited for this Reader's Companion to The Lord of the Rings by Hammond and Skull.
We have a lot of their books already. Like their books about Tolkien's art. His personal drawings and illustrations are amazing. Mm-hmm. They're some of my favorite books, just in terms of showing the process of world building, because they even show, scrap paper maps and stuff that he did. So I'm looking forward to looking at this to see kind of what they have to say just about the stories, because they're critical notes about his if kind of like ephemera and art and stuff are so good.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. And then the Philosophy of Tolkien. I can't remember who was reading through it. One of my mutuals or a Tolkien person on X, but saw a lot of quotes. There were multiple people reading through it when it first came out, so it could be, I'm thinking of an amalgamation of people. Saw several quotes from it and was like, yeah, I'd like to pick that up. So I did. In my Christmas list.
Yeah, Patrick points out that Peter Kreeft is a very popular and well-educated Catholic apologist. Yeah, I hated his chapter in, what is it? The Case for... It isn't The Case for Christ. It's the Lee Strobel book. That's like why you should believe that God exists.
Oh.
I think Peter
Case for Creation?
No, it was like the Case for, I forget what. Maybe it is The Case for Christ. I think it is The Case for Christ. But yeah. But I mean, it's not anything against him personally. I mean, he's it's just his opinions.
What can you do?
I mean, it's neat. It'll be neat to have that kind of like opinion about it.
I have a million books like this.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, The Case for Faith.
Faith.
Yeah. The Case for Faith has some really good chapters in it. The Peter Kreeft one was not.
Yeah, I have The Individuated Hobbit. I have Tolkien's Ordinary Virtues. I have several that are named sort of generic things and have chapters in them about philosophy and worldview. So I don't... Oh, and I have The Hobbit Party, which is political. So I feel like this will fit right in with my other stuff. And you guys, when we went to the store, I looked at that Tolkien author of the 27... What was it? I don't remember the title anymore, that I had considered the last time that we went. And I leafed through the introduction and was even more convinced that this was something I ought to own, but it was going to make me very angry. No, that was the one that talked about Tolkien in a post-COVID era. Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
this is definitely right on point with a lot of the stuff that I have. I'm not going to buy it because this is just going to really make me angry. So that's my Tolkien books. Okay, this one maybe seems a little odd, but again, I saw somebody talking about it on Twitter and thought, that sounds like it talks about some of the things that I'm interested in. David was like, "Why did you want this?" So it's a biography of Sam Peckinpah, who was the director of several westerns. Wrote scripts for Gunsmoke, The Rifleman, The Westerner, Straw Dogs, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, The Wild Bunch. So a lot of westerns. And I'll just read this little bit. Peckinpah was both a hopeless romantic and a grim nihilist, a filmmaker who defined his era as much as he was shaped by it. Rising to prominence in the social and political upheaval of the late 60s and early 70s, Peckinpah and his generation of directors, so-and-so, broke with convention and turned the traditional genres of Western, science fiction, war, and detective movies inside out. No other era in Hollywood has matched it for sheer energy, audacity, and originality, and no one cut a wider path through that time than Sam Peckinpah. And I am interested in that time period, that influence, and in the American monomyth, which comes from the Western. So I thought that it would be interesting to read a biography about this guy and his worldview. And
yeah, that's probably a good book to put on the shelf alongside the American Monomyth book. I think I did a little research just reading about him since I got this for Katie off her list. And The Wild Bunch sounds like a really interesting movie. And it sounds like he's kind of somebody who maybe influenced the Coen brothers a lot. And I really like the Coen brothers, most of the stuff that I've seen of them. And I mean, the stuff of theirs that I don't like, it's still really good. It's just not to my taste, you know? So anything in that tradition sounds like it's worth reading about and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot thicker than I thought it would be.
Uh-oh. Oh, it froze for a second.
Oh, okay. Right, so that's those.
Yeah. Should we do the half price book?
Yeah.
Paul? Did you want to show any of the kids stuff? Maybe just the movies or skip it? You could show that a couple of these that we found are
well, I found this.
Oh.
So I think that's. Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of books here.
Is there?
Yeah, they're right here.
Oh, okay. I have a copy, not of this particular printing, but of this story already. But I saw this on the shelf and I got excited.
It's upside down.
It is upside down.
Is this British or something?
Jason Sandberg, hi. It says my elementary school library had that Farmer Giles. That's awesome. I don't think my elementary school library had anything.
Crap. Bunch of crap.
We did have the Book of Three and the Black Cauldron. I remember where they were in the room even. But not stuff like this, which is sad. So yeah, kind of a pretty little book. Just looking. Yeah. Okay. You took it away from me.
We'll go back and forth here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I discovered where the DK kids books are this time. So I got these. So our daughter is in kindergarten, and we are currently learning about World War II. Sounds really stupid, but I like to watch videos with her, and I like to try to teach her things. So one day I was like, okay, well, we can watch, when a kid is 5, they'll just watch whatever you put in front of them. So I was like, well, what would you like to learn about? And she's like, maybe one of the world wars. I'm like, okay, so we'll find some nice videos about World War II. And I found this awesome YouTube channel called World War II that goes through
week by
World
week.
War II week by week. So we've been watching, they're like 10-minute videos, and we watch 2 of them each week on Saturday, and we look at maps. And I think you saw her drawing of the world on Twitter.
Did you post it on
the world map? Yeah, that's kind of from looking at, and I realize that a lot of this is going over her head, but it's kind of an opportunity. Like I talk about vocabulary words. I'm like, okay, like this is what artillery means. This is what this means. And there's a lot of like neat stories. And one thing that she likes looking at people's uniforms. So
she's into clothes.
Yeah, she's into clothes. So we like, we'll pause a video and Google like what the different symbols on hats and lapels and stuff like that are. But we don't have too many books, and this one is DK World War II Battles and Leaders, and I thought it was really cool because it basically goes through kind of chronologically and shows a lot of the same stuff that we're seeing in our videos. So right now we're pretty close to the beginning. Like we're right in here where it's the Winter War and the fall of Scandinavia. So started looking at this, and she can read pretty well, so I'll probably make her read some of this as part of our time. And then of course everybody knows this classic. I think my parents have a copy of this.
I'm sure they do, yeah.
But we don't, and I mean this was in good shape.
It's a must.
For $5. I mean, no brainer. So absolute classic. Had to pick that up. All right, what are people saying about World War II with
Patrick says his says Indy Nadal.
Yeah.
Nadal.
Yeah, he's the host.
Yeah, is amazing. His World War I series is good, and he's currently on Korea.
Yeah, I am anxious to watch some of the other series as we get through it. It's really fun. And my daughter thinks he's really funny too. She likes how he starts each episode like talking on the phone to somebody.
Let's see. Hi, Anne. Thank you for coming. Sam Goyer, hi, says World War II for a kindergartner. She thinks about things, and she's quite sharp. And for kindergarten, all school is made up, other than learning to read.
And I mean, does she understand?
It's an opportunity to talk about stuff.
Yeah, I don't think she understands everything, but there are a lot of photos and videos and stuff. There's some kind of brutal stuff that's shown. That's kind of another reason why I want to do it too, is like just expose her to some of this stuff, so she just kind of sees it as fact before she gets old enough to be like maybe more disturbed by it. I know my mom said that when she was like 10 or something, she read some book about like the siege of Leningrad or something, and it just some real atrocities happened there, and it, like just really messed her up for a bit as a kid.
Sure.
So I don't know, just exposing my daughter to some of that stuff before it's like maybe before
it would really
yeah.
mess her
there's
up.
I have all kinds of reasons for doing this, but it's a I have this theory about school, right, which is you should be throwing material that's a bit beyond your kids at them. And this is a holistic way to hit history, geography, vocabulary, technology. Like I feel like there's not enough time sometimes spent in school on technological development. It's like you learn this stuff as a boy because you're interested in reading these books, but well, when was this invented? When was this? A lot of World War II is like this thing was invented, and then they had to invent this thing to counter it, and then they had to invent this thing. So
yeah,
like helping
some big leaps forward in computers.
And then we've shared too that like my grandfather, my dad was a little bit older, and he was the youngest. So my grandfather fought in World War II. So it's like there's a link to our like closer link to our family too. Yep. So like helping her ground, like how people lived at that time. That's kind of where we're starting with school, is like our family and
we're
its connection to history.
For social studies, we're doing a family heritage and culture book, and we're talking about I'm gathering photos, especially of people when they were her age, or with their families, like to try and show her what where our family comes from and stuff. And so she is definitely thinking about things in the context of this like concept of her extended family, I guess. Anne says, you know what is great for kiddos? Rat Patrol. Almost no historical merit. Tons of fun though. Doug Wise, hi.
Oh yeah.
It was a good map. It was. It was really funny. I don't know if I told this story on Twitter. I think I told it in my Discord. We were out to eat, and I was at the opposite end of the booth from her, and I didn't know she was doing this, right? They'd given her a kid's coloring menu and a crayon, and of course, what does she do? Flip it over and start drawing a map of the world. And
she likes maps too. Yes. Kids go through phases, but she went through a phase for a while where she was drawing maps and stuff. So it's like, okay, we need to start giving her some real stuff.
Yep. And my sister was across from her, and the first I hear that my daughter is doing this is my sister says in a loud voice, pointed towards me, the Soviet Union. What? It shows me this map, and my daughter's like, this is USA, this is Greenland, this is the Soviet Union. I'm like, yes, it looks like that.
Lots of talk about dressing up.
Yeah, like Douglas MacArthur.
Michael Caine's editing The Hobbit while reading it.
Patrick says it probably scared my oldest when she was 6, trying to figure out why I was crying reading The Christmas Truce of World War I to her. Kids today don't have enough to scar them early on before they could. Listened to that song. Who does that song? The Christmas Truce. It's like heavy metal. Sabaton. And after it was done, I turned to my kids. I was like, this happened. And my daughter was like, really? I don't think I'm there yet.
That's World War I.
Oh, is it World War I?
Yeah. Sabaton actually does stuff though with Time Ghost people that do the
Oh yeah.
World War II channel. So I mean, it's a good way. It's a good excuse, like to just teach your kids about stuff that happens. I mean, it's not like our country is invading other countries or anything now. Okay. Here, you take these.
Am I showing these right now?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. No, I was just wondering if it was
I'm
my
done.
turn.
I'm
okay.
done.
So I got this, The Wind in the Willows. And I haven't actually read The Wind in the Willows, but
I'm sure we have like 5 copies of it.
We do not. That's why I haven't read it. But I've been meaning to, right? So, see, Michael Caine says, really? It's lovely. This is what I keep hearing. I've been intending to read it. And it came in a set with these. These are written by another author. The Willows in Winter and Toad Triumphant.
William Horwood.
Here at last is the stunning recreation of the much-loved world of Kenneth Grahame's The Wind in the Willows that we secretly all know we wanted but never dared hope we might find. For now, in an act of homage and celebration, he's brought to life once more the 4 most loved characters, blah, 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 blah. So I felt like these were not going to be subversions based on what I read there, and thought that I would risk getting them.
But they are subversions, or you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they are.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it sound like that, right?
All right.
So they look lovely all together. I'm pretty excited about it. I like pretty books.
I'm pretty sure I've heard like the title The Willows in Winter before. So, and I don't know, when are these from? I mean, if they're from like the 50s, they're probably fine. 93.
This is 95.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Michael Caine says I'm against that sort of nonsense. All right. I'm running out of room over here.
All right. Want to show this?
Oh, yeah. We've gotten our kids a few of the Disney books that are big like this. And when I saw this, I was like, I'm maybe never going to see that again. We got it.
I mean, we probably are going to see it again, but it's, I don't know, maybe one of the less common ones to see.
Yeah.
We have a few of the books in this series already. They're fun, especially for our daughter. She's really taking off with her reading right now. So this is kind of like a nice long book that she can read and can keep her occupied. And she sat and read this the day we got it. She read through the whole thing. So I don't know. I remember being a kid and enjoying these kind of long Disney books. They're accessible, but you feel like you're reading something when you read through it. You get the whole story and everything. So
I remember reading stuff like that in my grandma's basement.
And it's cool to see Black Cauldron stuff, just because, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I think just my little movie.
Patrick says, what a weird cover for such a great movie.
Well, I mean, it's the main characters, right?
It's, it looks like a Disney book. That's what it looks like to me. Michael Caine says, great movie, interesting take. Michael Caine says, whoa, hold up. I recognize the end pages. I must have seen one of those as a kid. Maybe his sister had it, the Peter Pan
Yeah,
one.
there's a whole bunch of them. We already had Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo. I'm trying to see what else. I think, yeah, we don't have. I thought we had Cinderella, but maybe we
do.
don't.
It might be upstairs.
Yeah,
That one is
they're
frequently checked out.
from like the I think the late 80s.
Yeah, there's a list here on the back.
Yeah, so you can see one's the newest one, probably Oliver and Company, I think. Maybe Oliver and Company isn't listed here, but I know we
Straight at the
saw.
bottom.
Oh yeah, so it's probably what 89 or whenever that was.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay.
So I've been buying DVDs.
Oh,
What?
This one.
Oh yeah.
do you
Go
want me to?
ahead. Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
I also got this one. I like pretty books. This is the Big Golden Book of Fairy Tales. Specifically, somebody wrote on it with illustrations by they're just gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Very ethereal looking children with wispy hair.
Very Scandinavian.
Snow White and Red Rose is in here. Some other lesser well-known ones are in here, like this one. Which the name of it I can't remember. Oh, it's the Golden Goose. It's literally the Golden Goose. I forgot about some of the stuff that happened at the end of the story of the Golden Goose. But the little old man who drinks a cellar full of wine, you know, one of the king's tests to try and throw the boy out, is drink a cellar of wine. But yeah, and like I said, my daughter's into clothes, so I like to get her fairy tale books where they're very intentional about the outfits and the details and not overly cartoonified, simply simplified stuff. Okay, so that's that.
All right, so I've been buying DVDs recently. I've been kind of on a movie kick, and for a long time I kind of limited myself in movie buying to, you know, Blu-rays and 4Ks, just because it's kind of an easy way to like say, here's what I'm going to limit myself to buying. But I recently started buying DVDs, and I did that for a couple of reasons. One is that DVDs are really cheap almost everywhere now, and you know, like you rarely see a Blu-ray, like unless it's also like on clearance at half price books for maybe less than about $5 or $8. And it's like if you're spending $8 on a Blu-ray, it's like you spend $20 on a 4K that also comes with a Blu-ray, you know. DVDs, like at Goodwill, DVDs are $2 now. That is prime impulse buy territory. And normal price, and movies are a little overpriced at half price books, let's be fair. Normal price are like $5, on clearance they're $3. And the other thing that I realized is that the nice thing about DVDs is they're easy to rip. So I don't have a Blu-ray drive, but I do have a DVD drive, and it's trivial once you have things set up to rip a DVD, and I found the DVDs rips look really nice played with VLC media player on my phone, which is where I watch a lot of movies because I'm holding a baby or lying in bed or something. So combined with the fact that it's like $2, and then you get a basically, in my opinion, you know, opinions may vary, but in my opinion, a morally, ethically sourced digital copy, it's just kind of a no-brainer, and I'm just gonna buy them. So I like to try to find a mix of things that are like movies that I've already seen, that I want to own, or I want a digital copy of if I maybe already have a Blu-ray. And then I'm also doing something specific where I am trying to make a collection of very like early 2000s movies on DVD. So movies that I remember watching on DVD as a kid, myself owning, my friends owning, stuff like that. I just think they're kind of cool. I have a lot of nostalgia for that era, and they're also just really common and cheap. So you're gonna see a good mix of that kind of stuff. So the first thing I found here is Total Recall. This is a nice artisan Total Recall, and I have this on Blu-ray. I'd actually like to get a 4K because it's a really good movie, but it's got a cool booklet that has some neat behind the scenes. Again, this is kind of another fun thing about DVDs is you have cool physical extras in them, whereas most Blu-rays don't have anything like that. There's a few. Yeah, and Patrick points out there's some good extras on DVDs too. The way I'm ripping them, I'm not really ripping that stuff, but they do often have commentary tracks that get ripped. So that's something cool. And something I like about DVDs is that, in this time period, they were making a lot of cool foil covers and things. And this copy of Total Recall has that cool foil cover. So it kind of fits right in the collection, even though it's not a early 2000s movie. I think Total Recall was 1990. It fits in with that style. And I mean, I can imagine being in like the year 1999, like movies that you'd want to have on DVD for your new DVD player and your 27-inch CRT TV you want Total Recall. Patrick says, don't go down the Steelbook path. Yeah, I think I own 2 Steelbooks, and they're never cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I never go out of my way to get them. So
not impulse buys.
Nope. Yeah, Sam Goyer says market was huge for DVDs in the thousands. Movie studios invested in packaging and special features back then. Yeah, and I didn't have a huge movie collection when I was a kid. A lot of my friends did, and I mean, I'd probably be lying if I didn't say that part of the fun is just sort of like I want to recreate that, like having a big cool collection of DVDs. But yeah, it's neat, and they were cheap back then, right? I mean, I think like brand new DVDs were like $20, which is like what, $30 now, but they were often on sale for a lot cheaper. I bought a lot of DVDs for $5 or $7 a piece, or $10. It's good stuff. And another thing about DVDs, you hear about disc rot and stuff, like discs breaking down over time. I have yet to experience that. All of these DVDs that I've bought, stick them in the drive, they rip without a problem. I've probably bought, I have mine that I had, starting 2002 or so. I've ripped a bunch of those. Recently, I've probably bought 10 or 20 DVDs in the past month or two, and I've had zero problems with any of them. I choose ones that look like they're in good shape, but yeah, I've not experienced anything like that. So, and again, $2 or $3 if they don't work. Boo-hoo. I found this cool Wrath of Khan. This is one I don't have in another format, and I would like to get on 4K because it's like a really good movie and a classic. This is $3. I remember my friend had this copy in the kind of like 1.5 wide case, and it's sealed. It's kind of fun. Sometimes you find these old DVDs sealed. Just cool. Like, yeah, I'll pay $3 for that.
Sam Goyer says, I read somewhere that disc rot might happen after like 80 years.
Yeah, and that's everything. Like what's gonna last 80 years? Books could start falling apart. I think a lot of it too. Sam, is how they're stored. And I've always, you know, we air condition our house and we don't let the humidity or, you know, get out of control. And I think that helps a lot. I've never experienced CD rot or anything. I have quite a few physical old video games that I've not experienced. I've had floppy disks and stuff go bad, but like as far as optical media, I've never had a problem. So I mean, until I start seeing problems,
We do more than my family ever did.
yeah.
Like my parents we had an extensive collection of VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
Yeah.
DVDs came out, my mom started buying those.
Yeah. But I mean, all of those that your parents had still last. I mean, my parents' DVD collection lasts. I mean,
unless they're scratched.
Not that it was huge.
Problem.
Yeah. So, whatever.
Speaking of extras, 5 hours of brand new exclusive bonus features.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a whole separate disc with all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
Disc 2, the Captain's Log, exclusive cast and crew interviews. Like Patrick was saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and points out some cool special features. One of the first fully computer generated sequences in a movie too,
nice.
The Genesis sequence. So, all right, another kind of movie I like to buy on DVD is one that I should see but I haven't seen because I can rip it and then watch it on my phone while I'm holding a sleepy baby. I've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. I need to fix that, so now I can because I spent $3 and I ripped it. These cardboard cases are cool too. They're kind of fun to buy.
Nice.
It's cool. They don't make stuff like this anymore. I'm getting nostalgic. Another Star Trek movie. This is probably not like a very good movie, but it's one I'm sentimental about, and one of my favorites of the Next Generation movies. I like the Borg. There's some really funny stuff in this movie. I think it's not as awful as some of the other Next Generation movies. And again, it's just like, look at this. I don't know what the modern releases of this movie look like, but I guarantee that they do not look this cool. Like, this just looks awesome. And then look at this. You open it up. Look at how cool this is. Like, just cool. And then you get this nice list of the scenes. Nice, sturdy. This is before they started doing the thin, super thin DVD cases with the recycling symbol cut out. Trash. Nice spindle that really pops open. Nice. And yeah, and I mean, I ripped this and it ripped fine. Like, I just $3 well spent.
Anne knows.
Yeah. Who doesn't pop that in there? Yeah, anything's better than Insurrection. Insurrection is one of those movies. It's like it's like the classic movie that's just spoiled by Mr. Plinkett. You watch it and like, oh yeah, that's fun, and then the instant you start thinking about it, it's just what a disaster of a movie. Okay, and then the last one I got, I've been on a little bit of a Matrix kick. I rewatched The Matrix kind of around Christmas time, and it was awesome. And I've been on the lookout for these at Goodwill. I found a nice copy of Reloaded. I've seen a bunch of full screen copies of Revolutions that aren't in anywhere near as nice of shape as this one. So I had to grab this one. And a little pro tip, I found this on the shelf and it was marked down to $3, which is their normal clearance price for stuff. So if you're looking for clearance DVDs at Half Price Books, I mean, look on the shelf too. I mean, just look at this. It's so cool. It's like this thick card. This cool stuff. So cool. some cool behind the scenes stuff. Some stuff about the Matrix online, but that'd be fun to watch. An introduction into the massively multiplayer game The Matrix Online, created by the Wachowski brothers. Also, again, like, look at this. Oh, it's like this thick plastic. Oh. It's great stuff. And I mean, just look at how cool this looks. Again, I guarantee that whatever the modern version of this looks like, it does not look this cool. So yeah, that's my little DVD haul. Fun stuff.
Gotta love physical media.
Yeah, and I mean the fun thing about these again is they're just so cheap. Like, if I decide I don't want this setting on my shelf, I'll get rid of it. It costs $3, and I'll delete the I'll delete the digital copy I made too, or I'll just pull it out of the case and throw the disc in a
CD binder,
CD wallet, and throw the case. You know, like, it just, I don't know why I didn't start doing this before, but it's just a lot of fun, you know. And it's fun. I think it's fun. You know, part of having a home library and collecting physical media is, like, it's fun to have certain things that you're super sentimental about. Like, when I like to record when I get things like this as a gift, you know, that I got them from my parents or, you know, my sister. So that's like a fun kind of sentimental thing. It's also fun to have a giant collection of stuff that's almost so big that you can't even remember what you have, that you're not sentimental about at all. And that's kind of the fun part about DVDs, is they're cheap enough. They're so cheap. They're so cheap at this point that, I mean, and anyone could really have, like, you could own all of your favorite movies on DVD, and you could turn around and get rid of it next year, you know, whatever. So I'm very excited about this development, and I'm going to be enjoying it for a while.
Chat's having some discussion about Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as Tolkien being mentioned.
Yeah, you know, Star Trek is kind of funny. I part of why I grabbed these is I've been thinking about Star Trek because it's kind of something from that era of my life, like The Matrix, and that I enjoyed a lot, but I haven't revisited for a long time. And it certainly is not something that's as important to me as Star Wars is, but it's something that I've enjoyed a lot, and I want to start watching the original series with our daughter really soon. So I've been thinking about Star Trek. The Star Trek movies, I think they're not really kid appropriate.
Probably not.
In any way, unfortunately. But again, you know, part of the fun of collecting this kind of stuff is, like, it's just there. It's there. You know, like, when the kids are old enough, I can just pull it off the shelf and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's been something I've enjoyed thinking about a lot too, is, you know, here, I'll just back a second. I've been watching these different movies. This one I actually didn't get at Half Price Books, but I got it at Goodwill, and watching these different movies, and I'm just like, I'm looking forward to someday when my son is, you know, maybe, I don't know, 9 or 10, and we're at home and we're snowed in on a Saturday afternoon. I'm like, let's watch a fun movie from when Dad was a teenager. You know, it's just fun stuff, and it's fun to think about having it ready for the right moment. I've had a couple experiences like that with movies, and it's so much fun.
My dad So my parents had an enormous, and when I say enormous, I mean not that it was a widescreen, but that it was old TV. And my dad custom built a cabinet around it. And that TV we were married when they finally got rid of it.
Oh yeah.
Like my entire life that TV was in the living room. And in the bottom were 2 drawers above the VCR cabinet, but under the TV. 2 drawers. And on one side was my dad's cassette tapes, his music. And on the other were the VHS tapes. Those were his movies. And I distinctly remember being old enough to watch them. Yeah. So I love the idea of having physical media that our kids can look at and think about. And then that day comes when they're allowed to sit up and watch.
And I mean, this stuff is going to last another 10 years if it's lasted this long.
Yeah,
I don't think DVDs are going to suddenly start breaking down in the next 10 years. And if they do, oh no, we lost
$3.
Yeah. But yeah, fun stuff, fun to think about. I think it's not going to take too long when the movie collection is kind of actually somewhat finished, and I'll pivot back to other stuff, but I enjoy when I kind of get on a kick, just going after it and seeing where it leads. So having fun with the movies right now.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you going to do this year?
Well, here, we could
yeah.
Could move this over.
Should I remove the book haul?
Yeah.
At solo. Yeah. There we go. Can you guys still hear us? Getting a bit closer.
Let's see here.
I have my Heroes Metal t-shirt on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, so my problem is that my day job is really busy. So it's very hard for me to say, okay, I can consistently spend time on things because it's in flux a lot. But I want to get back into streaming. I've made some really neat progress with my 3D art, with my game stuff, doing some neat 3D printing stuff, and I'm really going to try hard to get back into streaming consistently. And I'd like to do some other stuff on the channel too, maybe like talk about toy collecting, maybe talk about movies. I have a lot of cool physical media, like old computer games and books and things that I'd like to show, like things that are inspirations. So I've got a huge backlog of that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into streaming consistently. I think I've seen some signs that people like, I've sort of steadily grown subscribers on YouTube. So I just need to do that consistently. So watch for that. And I think the philosophy behind what I'm trying to do is that, with my YouTube channel is I think the bar is very low on YouTube. I think there's a lot of people who talk, but not a lot of people who do. And doing isn't always the best, content.
Interesting content.
But it like doing something interesting is better than talking and not being interesting. Maybe talking and being interesting would be the best.
Right.
But and I think the bar is low enough that just like doing something interesting counts. And like I say too, I hope that me doing stuff is a inspiration for other people to like sit down and work on their own projects, because that's something that I find I like listening to creative people do things and have that on in the background while I'm doing my stuff, so I don't feel like I'm just out by myself. But yeah, I'm going to try to get into doing that a lot more regularly. I'd like to do it. I'd like to get in the habit of doing it like at least twice a week if I can. Kind of whether or not anybody watches. It's like I'm always working on stuff anyway. I need to just stream. So that's my plans. And I am working on physical copies of my books. I started that. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do like a first edition that is basically the same exact thing that's out there now in ebook form, maybe with a couple of errors corrected, similar cover and everything. And then I'd like to do an updated version that has some improvements. So, illustrations, maps, maybe some revisions too. But still the same story. And I I want to experiment a lot with different formats. And one of the neat things about KDP is it's free. Like they just give you ISBNs for free. And with my software, it's trivial to experiment with different different trim sizes and stuff. So that's kind of on the backlog there. It's just I think for a long time I was worried about, like, if I put out a physical book, I want it to be perfect. But I think another way to think about it is I can iterate on that, and it doesn't always have to be the same. I can pull one version down and do another version of it. So watch for that. What about you? What are you going to do?
I have a lot of things I'd like to do. It's all about time. Will I have the time? Will I have the energy after the kids go to bed and motivation to come down to the basement where it's cold? I have some really awesome Lego sets to build.
Yeah, we've got quite a big backlog of Lego stuff too.
You and I have stuff to build together, and I have stuff to build. And so I have that giant Dungeons and Dragons set.
Yeah, the Red Dragon Tavern or whatever it's called.
So I was thinking maybe I would build that and not really plan a whole lot to say during it, just kind of build it ASMR type. And then I would feel less pressure. And I would be doing something I want to do anyway, and streaming and hanging out with you guys. And as far as here on YouTube, I have plans to do more shorts. I'm planning on doing shorts for reviews instead of like a long form video. For a while I was like, I'm gonna do long form videos of my reviews, and every time I tried to record something, it just didn't seem right. And especially since my website, the way that it's set up and designed to be searchable, browsable, you have the option to do spoiler free, or the option to deep dive. You just don't have that on YouTube. I did some shorts of Christmas stories that I read. I feel like that worked pretty well. That format worked pretty well. I might hit like my top 3 or something.
Shorts are nice because they don't take a lot of time to produce either.
It takes significantly less time to record, edit, and export. Sit there, my computer sits there and grinds. When I do the book club videos, it sits there for like a couple of hours thinking. I do have some longer content planned. I have a potential new show pre-recorded type thing. I have to get, so just want to get some preliminary things lined up first. And then we're continuing with the book club. Of course, it's not anywhere near me, so I can't show it. Patrick has agreed to do it with me and Hannah. We're going to read, again, something a bit different. We're going to read the Tales Before Tolkien anthology. Get a little bit of a dip into the classics that inspired Tolkien, and use, as always, use it as a sounding board to talk about the indies that we enjoy, and as an opportunity just to talk books and have fun. You guys are welcome to join us for that. Not sure when the first one will be quite yet, but pretty quick here.
Nice.
And of course, on my website, reviews.
Mm-hmm. And I think we'd like to, as we can, we'd like to get back into doing streams with Katie and I.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun with that, and it'd be nice to make that a regular thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's neat to find people that you can talk with and have good chemistry with, and I hope we can do that, because I think that's another thing that's kind of uncommon, is just sort of good chemistry and good discussions on live streams. A lot of people do it. I don't think a lot of people do it well, and it's a blessing to have people that you do like talking to, and I hope we can find more people to kind of bring into our show. So watch for that.
People who are up late.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's something that we've thought about, and I think we're still trying to figure out what the right format is. But it's not an idea that we've given up on quite yet. So, and I think too, what we need to do with that is just try to find more just topics of the day,
Yeah.
not necessarily all writing related or even writing related at all, but I think there's value in just being good background noise for people, and
that's true.
And I'd like to do some of that. So when we figure out how to do that, we'll be experimenting with that as well. Well, is there anything else? I think that's about it.
I think that's it. Patrick says he's met a lot of nice people here in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a great chat.
We appreciate all of you.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's really fun when you have people in the chat to talk. I think there was a while there where we had a pretty big audience, then it kind of slipped a bit, and I don't know. It's fun to do no matter what the size. And I think consistency is key. Yeah. We can figure out how to just be more consistent with it. I think things will happen. I think YouTube, in terms of being, having an algorithm that lets small channels get discovered, is probably one of the best on social media. Certainly compared to the way X is recently. I think X's algorithm for discovery has kind of gone down the tubes. So, I'm kind of increasingly frustrated with X as like a place to discover new nice things.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking about how to shift efforts away from X towards YouTube and other platforms as well. So I think that's part of what I'll be doing this year as well.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've been kind of stuck in the same circles.
Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing, right? Like I like my circles.
Well, you always have this this hope that, once you kind of find a niche, then you'll sort of grow organically. And I think, that worked to a point, but I think maybe both of us are in a bit of a rut on X in terms of kind of growing beyond the the typical circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's there's obviously ways you can grow, but I think the problem is with X is it's like, and I've talked about this, is that I just feel like I don't know if I want to do what you have to do on X
Mm-hmm.
to get bigger.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a bit of a sour grapes kind of sentiment, but it's also just like realistic. This is a hobby for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really cool career. I have a cool day job. And that and family is kind of like the first priority. I would work on my projects, my creative projects, whether or not I post about them on social media. So I really, I think I need to start being more careful with how I'm spending my social media time. And, I don't have time to spend on things that I don't want to be doing.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason that I haven't really agonized too much about building up the YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
is that my passion is with writing reviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to do more content, but
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what I enjoy doing is reading books.
And there's always a balance too, because I mean, there's like sometimes when the mood strikes, you're like, okay, I'm gonna just try to like tweet a lot today and see what happens. Or
Mm-hmm.
I think when my YouTube channel was growing a lot, it was easy to kind of find the motivation to do it. Like when you'd stream and you'd gain like 10 subscribers, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this. But yeah, I mean, it's so there's a balance there. And for me too, I sometimes think about, okay, like I don't necessarily want to do this, and this isn't necessarily a hobby thing, but for me, I'd like to get better at speaking and presenting, and I don't have to do as much of that in my job as I would kind of like. So YouTube is kind of an opportunity for me to have to talk to people and sort of practice speaking well and things like that. So there's other reasons to do it, but the motivations come and go. So it's something to think about and try to balance. And I think I feel like kind of thinking about 2026, I think we're at a point now where in the past couple of years we've tried a lot of different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen different amounts of success and had different amounts of fun, but I think it would be cool this year if we could kind of settle into something consistent and ride it for a while and see what it does, or not. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, okay, I want to take something, maybe even if it isn't the most fun, try to be consistent with it for a longer time and see if it pays off. And if it doesn't pay, if it doesn't pay off, I'll just quit. I'll just quit doing it.
No big deal.
That's the fun thing about this being a hobby, is it you don't have a whole lot to lose by things not working out. Yeah, but that's I guess, yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking about, and where we'd like to see things go. I mean, I think that's probably a good way to sum it up, at least for me, is I'd like to try just being a little bit more consistent and seeing if that pays off.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think we should wrap it up.
Yep.
Guys, have a great night. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta get to my computer here. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat and for watching. And guys, let us know if you are interested in anything in particular that we're planning this year, or if you saw books or movies that you thought was fun. We like to share stuff with you.
Something that we've kicked around too is like doing some movie review talks.
Yeah.
I think so it's just challenging. Like, we don't have a lot of time. So for me, like, I've enjoyed kind of getting into movies because that's something that with my time the way it is, I can make time
Hmm.
to do. So yeah, maybe watch for some movie reviews or talks like with the two of us. Kind of with a literary bent, maybe, talking about um, plot structure and story and things like that. But yeah, consistency. It's going to be
Yeah.
what we'll try to do this year.
All right. Good night, you guys.